Guys, we just got to the start of this walk this morning. It's Sunday and it's about 10:30 now. Yeah, 10:30. And this walk is another cut out. It's Dunwich Heath, so just south of the village of Dunwich on the Suffolk coast, where we've camped, done a walk yesterday. It's a 2-hour walk, 5 miles long, and Jake's still here, of course. Yep. Right, this is the view looking out of the car. So we've got Sizewell nuclear power station that's being decommissioned. Just see that giant like golf ball sort of thing. We reckon that's a dredging boat, don't we?
I thought it was.
Yeah, to the left of it. Hey, that looks like there's a little oil rig there as well. Nice.
Off sea.
So yeah, really nice view. And so yeah, we're gonna get our rucksacks on and we're gonna make a start. So we haven't got too long to do this one, but we don't need too much time. Got to get back. I've got to be in work at 3. Brilliant. Right, we'll chat to you in a bit. Let's get ready to ramble. Let's get ready to walk. So yeah, this is Dunwich Heath. In July 1588, a beacon was lit on these cliffs to give warning of the approach of the Spanish Armada. To record the event, this plaque was unveiled on the 6th of August 1988 by Admiral of the Fleet, the Lord Lewin of Greenwich. Very nice. A little bit of history there. Dangerous sort of cliffs there. The cliffs are eroding, these little yellow signs. So we won't go too close to the edge.
You see how far Dunwich is down there? Just at the edge, we've come quite a way down.
So still at Dunwich Heath, and these are the Coast Guard cottages. It's all owned by the National Trust. There's like a gift shop, tea room. I think there's some sort of information about the place and history of it and whatnot. So this is the beach cafe and like the beach toilets and that at the beach at Dunwich. It's free parking, but they do ask for donations for like the church and local charities, so gave them a bit of money because of course last night we wild camped over there up on the sort of the sea wall. Brilliant wild camp. Check that video out. So yeah, we're on this this walk here, going around Dunwich Heath, and underneath the beach cafe and the toilet block was the Hospital of the Holy Trinity, Maison Dieu. Date of its foundation is unknown, but in 1251 it was under the patronage of the king and was staffed by a master, 6 brethren and several sisters. No contemporary descriptions of the hospital exist, but it was probably a half-timbered range of buildings with a stone church attached. The Maison Dieu seems to have been mainly devoted to the care of the poor, and although the church was demolished following the dissolution of the monasteries in 1538, the hospital buildings continue to function as an almshouse. In 1754, Gardner stated that the hospital income was reduced to £11.17, of which £2 was paid to the master as a salary and the remainder spent on the poor living in the old decrepit house. The house appears to have closed down late in the 19th century, with its assets passing to the Dunwich Pension Charity. So there's a few pictures of it, what it would have looked like. So yeah, there was a couple of hospitals in medieval Dunwich. And yeah, in the medieval period the term hospital was used to describe buildings devoted to the care of the elderly and the poor and the treatment of the sick, of course, but as well as accommodation for travellers, particularly pilgrims. We could have done with that. Hospitals were founded by religious orders and were usually part of a monastic complex. So in St James's Hospital, that was founded during the reign of Richard I. This institution was primarily concerned with housing and caring for lepers. However, it was also open to the poor, aged and sick if they were prepared to risk contagion. There was a church, a separate chapel for lepers and a range of cottages. The hospital was sited well outside the town boundary to reduce the spread of the disease. In my last video I made the mistake of saying that leprosy no longer exists. It does in a lot of third world countries, so apologies for the mistake and the confusion there, guys. Yeah, sadly it still continues to this day. So yeah, just a little note on that. By the mid-16th century, St James had lost its last leper, but the hospital continued to provide for the sick and the poor. The buildings gradually decayed. In the 19th century, the remaining assets passed to the Dunwich Pension Charity again. So yeah, that is back at the Leper Chapel and St James's Church in the other video, so check that out. And Jake's back. Yep.
What you said?
Just gone and dropped a couple of logs each, and after a cracking breakfast. Anyway, oh yeah, guys, by the way, this is also like the historic trail map. It is something else. So this is the current coastline here. We're here, and that is what would have been medieval and like Roman Dunwich back in the day, before the storms and that washed it all away and eroded the coastline. It's now like 50 permanent residents here. I think 100 people on the electoral roll. Like, whereas back then when all of this was here, it would have been, I think, like 4,000 people. It was one of the biggest ports in England. Second largest, I think. Second largest, was it? Yeah.
Second or third, yeah.
Second or third largest port in yeah. Oh yeah, look, in 1250 Dunwich was one of the largest ports in England with a population of 4,000 people. It was a trading port, a religious centre and a borough with a royal charter. Its influence extended throughout East Anglia and beyond. So we camped somewhere over here last night.
It was about there.
About there, we reckon.
It was right in front of them.
Yeah, that was it, yeah. And Carl's parked there, so we're here now. And that's sort of where the, what's it, the port kind of was, along the Dunwich River. Come up through there, the estuary. But all of that is beneath the waves now, so they're still finding stuff to this day. You reckon you found an arrowhead or something, or a spearhead or something. It was iron. Yeah, today Dunwich has barely 100 people. Yeah, and on the electoral roll, and fewer than 50 permanent residents. Since Roman times, the sea has claimed more than 2 kilometres of coastline and reduced a great port to a tiny fishing village. Oh, sorry, just focusing. Yeah, it's sort of both sad but fascinating at the same time. Right guys, we're back at the car park at Minsmere Cliffs and Dunwich Heath. So we've done a little circular walk around Dunwich Heath. We took in some of Dunwich village itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of history, a lot of nice views. The heath was interesting. Got a little bit samey, but it was still
very, boggy open land.
Boggy open land, pretty, but once you've sort of seen one yellow bush, you've seen them all. Really. So that's my review on it, but still a nice day out. I mean, it beats a poke in the eye. So,
and what a way to end.
What a way to end this lovely view. Right, so yeah, we've got ice creams. We're sat on this bench overlooking that lovely view. That's the end of the walk. We're going to have these, and we're going to head on home back to Essex, back to the daily grind.
Oh.
I know. So yeah, it's been a really good weekend. Cheers, Jake, for joining us, mate. It's been a pleasure.
And you too.
You're welcome anytime.
Oh,
that's what she said. Anyway. Anyway.
Don't stop, shut up.
Anyways, right. Yeah. Cheers. Thank you very much for watching. You'll see us. Well, you'll see me in the next one. Hopefully see Jake again.
Yeah.
Cheers. See you later.